Waiting for the Snow by Stephen Delorier. Once upon a time in the great white north, there lived an amplified amphibian named Phobos. Now Phobos had latent ambition, which surfaced one day as he grew tired of watching skaters through scratched up ice. He decided that he would head south where the frogs were red and the rain is warm. His desire was to leave his amphibian buddies lamenting on the side of an imponderable edifice, whatever that means. This amphibian, his exact species is not pertinent to this fable, was a yodeling raconteur. His pipe dream was to hear his yodel echo off great mountains through valleys and go skipping across the fjords. But alas, his dream was thwarted by what seemed a glacier over his pond. While his amphibian buddies were slumbering in the frozen ooze, Phobos incessantly butted his forehead against the ice, valiantly attempting a dramatic exit. Finally, an errant cow stumbled onto the edge and left a window of opportunity. Phobos seized the moment and escaped. Traveling south, Phobos happened upon a frog named Dominique. Dominique said, "There's only one word to describe me. That is liberty," with one part of the L pointing to the horizon and the other pointing to the zenith. Phobos recalled what his philosophical mother had once muttered. What is better, to have liberty without dignity or dignity without liberty? You have to have both. She also said, pride is for lions, but what is a lion without his pride? Dominique raided a lonely lion, a ski lodge where St. Bernard dogs were trained for their work on the mountains. These canines were handpicked to assist fallen skiers in their 60 minutes of necessity. Phobos and Dominique studied diligently with the dogs. They were told that someday there would be an avalanche of fallen skiers awaiting their rescue. Day after day, they practiced drills, looked through charts of mountains, and memorized the many names of snow. Finally, Phobos and Dominique were stationed in the Alps. Sporadically, a skier would happen to fall, but it seemed they were catapulted majestically over the mountain to give the dogs something to do. Waiting for an avalanche was worse than waiting for the ice above the pond to melt. After years of waiting for the snows of snows, most of the St. Bernard dogs had bitten the biscuit. Only a few old ones remained faithful to the task at hand. Suddenly, a host of skiers rained down from the sky, and the amplified amphibian was in his element, assisting with the repair and maintenance of various broken appendages. There is no moral to this story. It is not a good story. However, one should consider the ramifications of driven snow. Questions for study. 1. Why was the amphibian referred to as being amplified? A. He stuck his finger in a socket when he was young. B. This is a story about electrical storms. C. Poetic licentiousness. D. The protagonist wanted to be a rock star. 2. Why did the dogs bite the biscuit? A. They didn't know any stupid dog tricks. B. This is a trick question. C. They were acting as doggies are wont to do. E. They were sick and tired of waiting for an avalanche. 3. Why wasn't the amphibian's exact species divulged? A. Divulgence isn't pertinent to the plot. B. There's no plot, so what difference does it make? C. The amphibian was from the Great White North. D. The author misplaced his guidebook to ascertaining the species of frogs when colliding with a taxicab while riding his bike on Yonge Street and suddenly lost interest in frog lore. What was the country to the south? United States, A. B. Nicaragua. C. Republic of Korea. D, it wasn't a country, it was a state of mind. 5. Why did the amphibians study the many names of snow? A, to communicate with dissidents. B, to understand the nature of their own internal flakes. C, to add excitement to the story. D, because they were expecting it to rain frozen albino frogs. 6. Why did the amphibians cry on the side of the mountain? A, if they cried on top of the mountain, they would have less control over their tears. B, they were afraid the Phobos would become a freeze-dried dog biscuit. C, they were doing stupid amphibian tricks. D, the protagonists owed the money and left town quickly. 7. How is it possible that the amphibian could look through charts of mountains? A, the charts were drawn on cheap paper. B, he was talented at reading maps. C, he was looking for the plot and could see through the mountain. D, the story was originally written on a roll of saran wrap with a permanent marker. The end.